Thanks for tuning in. Factory-built performance cars continued to face challenges with emissions and other factors in the 70s. While cars of this era also had iconic designs that appealed to some enthusiasts, not all are praised for their beauty. In this episode, we'll review 14 of the ugliest muscle cars of the 70s. Please stay tuned and be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel as we get into the countdown. Number 14. 1970 Buick Grand Sport 455 Stage 1. The 1970 Buick GS 455 Stage 1 was built to compete with big names like the Chevrolet SS, Pontiac GTO, and Dodge Charger. Under the hood was a 455 V8, one of the largest and most potent engines of the muscle car era. It had a higher compression ratio of 10.5 to 1, producing 360 horsepower and a monstrous 510 pound-feet of torque. This engine also featured a functional ram air induction system. While this muscle car was one of the quarter-mile beasts, its design drew mixed reactions, particularly among purists. Buick's design language emphasized a more subdued, mature appearance, with rounded edges and minimal body sculpting. Besides the looks, GS technological limitations around this time due to emissions control just made the car feel choked. Number 13. 1978 Oldsmobile 442. The 1978 442 was built when Oldsmobile sought to keep the spirit of its famed 442 nameplate alive. It was built on GM's downsized A-body platform, making it smaller and lighter than its predecessors. The 78 442 was available with a range of engine options, including a 260 cubic inch V8 and a 305 cubic inch V8, producing 160 horsepower and 245 pound-feet of torque. The 78 442 has been criticized for its uninspiring design, which lacked the bold aggression that muscle car enthusiasts love. The stacked square headlights and bland rectangular grille lacked character. The car also rode on small wheels with overly tall sidewalls, leaving a lot of space in the wheel wells. Today, it remains one of the ugliest models from the golden age of muscle. Number 12. 1976 Dodge Charger Daytona. The 1976 Charger Daytona bore little resemblance to the legendary 1969 Charger Daytona, which dominated NASCAR tracks and became a muscle car icon. This car was just introduced to capitalize on the original Daytona's name recognition. The 76 Dodge Charger Daytona offered several engine options, including a 225 cubic inch Slant 6 producing just 100 horsepower, a 318 small block V8 producing 150 horsepower, a 360 V8 producing 180 horsepower, and a 400 cubic inch V8 producing 190 horsepower. The car is often criticized for its awkward styling, which failed to live up to the aggressive, aerodynamic looks of its legendary predecessor. It had grown larger and heavier, with rounded, bulky styling that lacked the sharp, purposeful lines of earlier models. The car looked like a land yacht and not a terribly desirous one at that. Number 11. 1975 Ford Mustang II Mach 1. The Mustang II was introduced in 1974. The following year's model offered several engine options. The base engine was the 140 cubic inch inline-4, producing around 88 horsepower. Others included the 171 cubic inch V6, producing 97 horsepower, and the 302 cubic inch V8, the only V8 available for the Mach 1, producing 140 horsepower and 240 pound-feet of torque. Built on the Pinto platform, the Mustang II had a much smaller footprint than its predecessors. Its stubby, narrow body looked awkward compared to the sleek and aggressive stance of earlier Mustangs. Number 10. 1973 Pontiac GTO. The 1973 GTO was built to keep the nameplate alive amidst the 70s challenges. Pontiac had been a pioneer of the muscle car genre with the original 1964 GTO, but by 1973, the segment was losing its appeal as performance took a backseat to practicality. The 1973 Pontiac GTO had two engine options, a 400 cubic inch V8 producing 230 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque, and a 455 big block producing 250 horsepower and 370 pound-feet of torque. The 1973 Pontiac GTO was based on GM's new Colonnade A-body platform, which featured large B-pillars and frameless door glass. While the design improved safety, it gave the car a bulky, awkward profile that lacked the sleekness of earlier models. Number 9. 1978 Ford Mustang II King Cobra. The 1978 Ford Mustang II King Cobra was released targeting competitors like the Camaro Z28 and Firebird Trans Am, which relied on bold styling to maintain their appeal. The Mustang II King Cobra was only available with a 302 V8 rated at 139 horsepower and 250 pound-feet of torque. It was mated to either a 4-speed manual transmission or a 3-speed automatic transmission. The car featured bold, oversized decals, including a massive Cobra snake graphic on the hood. While it was meant to be aggressive, many felt it came across as gaudy and excessive. Built on the Pinto platform, the Mustang II had a short, narrow body with a high ride height that made it look awkward and stubby. Number 8. 1975 Plymouth Roadrunner. Originally introduced in 1968, the Roadrunner had become larger, heavier, and more restrained by the mid-70s. Plymouth aimed to keep the Roadrunner relevant as an affordable performance car within the limits of the new regulations. The 1975 Roadrunner was offered with several engine options. The base engine was a 255 cubic inch slant 6, producing 105 horsepower, a 318 V8, producing 150 horsepower, a 360 V8, rated at 175 horsepower, a 400 cubic inch V8, producing 190 horsepower, and a 440 cubic inch V8 rated at 235 horsepower. The 1975 Roadrunner was built on Chrysler's midsize B-body platform, which made it significantly larger and heavier than its predecessors. The federally mandated 5 miles per hour bumpers dominated the front and rear ends, sticking out awkwardly and disrupting the car's overall proportions. Are you ready for our 7 ugliest American muscle cars from the 1970s? Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, which helps us create more episodes. Number 7. 1978 Dodge Challenger. The 1978 Dodge Challenger marked the end of the first-generation Challenger. With muscle cars fading in popularity, Dodge positioned the Challenger as a competitor to cars like the Camaro, Firebird, and Mustang II, emphasizing comfort over sheer power and looks. The 1978 Dodge Challenger offered several engine options, with the largest being the 400 cubic inch V8 rated at 190 horsepower. Number 6. 1979 Ford Mustang. The 1979 Mustang introduced the Fox body platform. After the controversial Mustang II, Ford sought to restore the Mustang's reputation by creating a modern car that combined a sporty appeal with practicality and efficiency. The 1979 Mustang offered a wide range of engines, including a 2.3-liter naturally aspirated inline-4 producing 88 horsepower, a 2.3-liter turbocharged inline-4 producing 132 horsepower, a 2.8-liter V6 producing 109 horsepower, a 3.3-liter inline-6 producing 85 horsepower, and a 302 cubic inch V8 rated at 140 horsepower. Despite Ford's efforts to manufacture a modern car, this Mustang had a polarizing design. The new Fox body design introduced sharp angles and straight lines, which were a stark departure from the flowing curves of earlier Mustangs. Number 5. 1975 Chevy Laguna S3. The 1975 Laguna S3 was positioned as the top-tier model in the Chevelle lineup. Chevy aimed to boost Chevelle's appeal by introducing a sporty model, bridging the gap between the Camaro and the more family-oriented Malibu. The 1975 Laguna S3 offered several engine options, including a 250 cubic inch inline-6 producing 105 horsepower, a 350 V8 with a 2-barrel carburetor producing 145 horsepower, a 350 V8 with 4-barrel carburetor producing 155 horsepower, a 400 cubic inch V8 producing 175 horsepower, and a 454 big block rated at 215 horsepower. While the sloped urethane nose improved aerodynamics for NASCAR, it looked awkward on the street. Built on GM's mid-size A-body platform, the Laguna S3 was large and heavy, giving it a bloated appearance that lacked the athletic stance of earlier Chevelles. Number 4. 1979 Buick Riviera. The 1979 Riviera was positioned as a high-end personal luxury coupe. It offered a selection of engines aimed at balancing performance and efficiency, including a base 231 cubic inch V6 that produced 105 horsepower. Other engines included a 352-barrel rated at 145 horsepower, a 403 cubic inch V8 producing 185 horsepower, and a 455 V8 producing 210 horsepower. The 1979 model lacked the boldness and character of previous models. Its shape became more angular and boxy, making it appear more like a luxury sedan than a distinctive personal coupe. Number 3. 1979 Mercury Cougar. The 1979 Cougar was part of the Cougar's 6th generation, marking a significant shift in the model's direction. Its positioning has shifted from a performance-oriented muscle car to a more refined personal luxury vehicle aimed at customers who prioritize comfort and technology. The Cougar was equipped with a range of engines. The base engine was a 232 cubic inch inline-six producing 105 horsepower. Other options included a 302 rated at 139 horsepower, a 351 producing 149 horsepower, and a 400 cubic inch V8 producing 170 horsepower. The 1979 Mercury Cougar had a less distinctive appearance that lacked the character that made earlier Cougars stand out. Its rear end in particular had a more squared-off look compared to the sleek, flowing lines of its earlier designs. Number 2. 1971 Pontiac Grand Prix. The 1971 Grand Prix was designed to compete with other personal luxury cars like the Buick Riviera, Oldsmobile, and Ford Thunderbird. It came with a range of engines including a 400 cubic inch V8 producing 300 horsepower, a 455 four-barrel rated at 325 horsepower, and a 455 with an optional performance package producing 370 horsepower. The 1971 Grand Prix was a big car and its design was more angular and boxy than the sleek, flowing lines of the previous generation. The large grille, while imposing, gave the front end a somewhat bulky and squared-off look. Its rear was also wide and heavy with a large rear bumper. Number 1. 1975 Pontiac Grand Am. The 1975 Grand Am's engine options included a 250 inline-six producing 105 horsepower, a 350 producing 150 horsepower, and a 400 cubic inch V8 rated at 185 horsepower. While the 1975 Pontiac Grand Am was not universally hated, it was unattractive. It featured a more squared-off, angular design compared to the more stylish, flowing lines of earlier Pontiac models. Its rear end was particularly bulky and the overall shape felt heavy and uninspired, especially compared to the more streamlined offerings from competitors. The four-door Grand Am's more formal roofline did not really blend as well with the Grand Am's sleek exterior body lines or the very sporty front and rear design like the two-door Grand Am's roofline did. Thanks for watching today's episode. Which of these muscle cars do you think is the ugliest? Share with us in the comments section below. Also, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to click the like button to show your support and stay updated on our latest episodes.